Jones looking to throw it on the first play. It's caught. Lockett. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 13 yards on the game's opening play.
Well, this defense certainly knows they're going to have their hands full trying to slow down this passing game. Here's an example on the very first play from scrimmage. I think we'll see some different looks, maybe some pressure from different places, but it didn't work there, and it's a quick first down.
Now former 6th-round pick, it's Elijah Mitchell. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. The numbers last week for Mitchell. North of 100 yards, the 2 scores. And, you know, you got to give a lot of credit to the O-line. We talked a lot about him, but offensive line was good, too.
They're obviously in sync with each other, whether it's zone blocking, power running game, no matter what. He understands how to read them and find the creases that they provide.
Here's 2nd and 3. Throwing, Jones. And Lockett with a grab over the middle. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
When you talk about this Seahawk defense, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Now Jones. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That good for 22 and a first down. Out to the right, he gets it to Lockett. Touchdown, Eagles! Tyler Lockett, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Eagles get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. He's got it, and the Eagles lead at 7-0. So that drive takes him down the field in 8 plays. And it ends with a Tyler Lockett touchdown. Nyheim Hines now out of his end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here come the Seahawks and their offense now under veteran head coach Pete Carroll. And they'll be led out by a much-discussed 3rd-rounder in last year's draft. The 2nd-year pro out of Cincinnati, Desmond Ridder.
And he ought to have a lot of pep in his step after last week's performance because he did exactly as you want him to play if you're a coach. 3 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions, which usually means you're making a lot of right decisions out there.
And got him to win. The numbers on the ground for Pierce last week. 14. $52 yards and a touchdown.
Just an all-right day from him last week. He really didn't break out for the huge yardage he had hoped going in. I talked with him before the game, though, and he knows this is a new, fresh opportunity. He's put last week behind him, and his focus.
Ridder cannot escape, and they bring him down. multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Well, this offense and Elijah Mitchell coming back onto the field now.
Last week, a strong showing, up over 100, also 2 trips to the end zone.
It's the kind of week that if you said, listen, I'll let you have this type of a game each and every week, you'd sign up for it. You wouldn't try to get too greedy. But let's face it, good runners always want to be a little bit more greedy at the end, try and squeeze out every last yard. He's going to try and duplicate that and exceed it in this game.
Here's Jones on 1st and 10. Incomplete.
When you talk about this Seahawk defense,
they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
This defense has a lot to be proud of coming off of the game they played last week. When you only give up 14 points in a game, not only do you give your team a chance to win, you fully expect to win because you figure your offense is going to score more than that.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were excellent in that win over the 49ers last week.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for them to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for them to escape the pocket and run.
On 4th down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. Back deep, Nyheim Hines. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And as this offense makes their way back out, NFC playoff race time, we give you a look at what's going on there. And as we take a look at the playoff picture, certainly still a lot of jostling to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
So much to play for, and remember, 7 teams in each conference go to the playoffs instead of 6. And not to mention, remember when the league made that move a few seasons ago to put divisional games at the end of the year? So you get to week 16 and 17, you're playing for playoff spots, and you're playing divisional games. Couldn't be more exciting than that.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
The threat of a 2nd straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And he'll be taken down well before the first at about the 36-yard line. So on 4th down, on is the punter Ryan Wright. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession, as they'll start with a 1st and 10 at their own 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Operating from the gun, Jones. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As tight ends go, he might not provide the super flashy plays very often, but he's pretty reliable, usually an excellent target, and normally catches what's thrown to him, but he didn't on that play.
Now Jones to throw on third down. And that one to the right side and incomplete.
Sometimes the game is pretty simple. Put a few extra defensive backs on the field, give them nowhere to throw the football, force the incompletion, and get off the field on third down.
And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. Hines now on the return. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. And Seattle now ready to march onto the field. And the stakes in this game certainly high as we get toward the end of the regular season. For now, they are holding a wild card spot, but there are no shortage of other teams in the NFC looking to take that spot from them.
Starting with the guys on the other side of the field because they're on the outside looking in, and no one likes to be in that position. You want to be in the room, not looking inside to see everyone else having fun.
Got it. On the ball. On the ball. Ready.
Well, they'll start on the ground with Hines. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 29-yard line.
22 needle.
Ritter from the gun. That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. And he'll get this back to the 32-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Eagles offense back out, getting set for this next drive. And they'll have good field position here following the interception and a chance to build on their lead as they start with a 1st and 10. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Throwing to start the drive. Jones drops this underneath. It's Mitchell. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him the football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field.
Wide open receiver complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. A well-executed 22-yard gain. White. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Jones to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows of the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows.
And he's in. Touchdown, Eagles. Elijah Mitchell, his 11th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Eagles have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Everybody in the stadium knew what they were going to do right there, CD. 3 tight ends on the field, all that extra bulk, and they run it in.
And you saw where that one went, right? You run it over your best blocker. I can just see the head coach right now. I want to run this one over the big boy. And they got it done.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Out of the end zone, here comes Hines. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24.
And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field.
Okay,
And this late season game, of course, not lacking for drama when you talk about the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, in a sense, it's the haves versus the have-nots because
Ritter has it knocked down.
And it's picked up by the Eagles. And first and goal is what it will be at the 6-yard line. Excellent field position. A defensive-minded coach loves to bring the heat, brought the heat there, and it worked out.
And nowadays, all those defensive-minded coaches, for them, it's all about getting the football. I went into one facility. It is
Touchdown!
Elijah Mitchell.
He scored on the ground and through the air.
And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Well, he is putting in a great all-around game, Charles. He already ran one in for a score, and now they utilize him in the passing game.
And they put a lot of pressure on a defensive coordinator and a defense, don't they? Because they're used to him as a runner. But it turns out he's just as dangerous as some of those receivers, and he showed it right there. You don't pay enough attention to him defensively, he makes you pay.
Piñeiro's extra point up and good.
And it's now 21-0.
And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19.
And Seattle now ready to march out of the field.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores. And I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. And if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
On second down, Ritter.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
let's go.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Set.
Ritter back to throw.
And that is incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's fourth down.
And here's Ryan Wright now.
As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. A big kick there. We'll call it 56 yards on the punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over first and 10. Philadelphia getting set to take the field.
This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Down to about the 45. Now a 2nd and 6.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's first and 10. Looking to throw. Jones to the right side. It's caught by Mitchell. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. He was unable to shake free there. They'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
At the 33-yard line.
Looking to throw again on second down. Jones. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 17-yard line. The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. They'll look to throw again. Throw right side into the hands of Akins. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And this is caught. Touchdown.